What's going on, everybody? It's Stas here. Welcome back to another video. So in today's video, we're going to be doing another overall market update, looking at the performance of the Dow Jones, the Nasdaq, and the S&P today, November 13th in 2013, as well as talking about two trades that I made today in the stock market. We're going to talk about my ideology behind those trades, why I took those trades, and we're going to talk about some other stocks and ETFs that I'm watching for the rest of this week. So for those of you guys that are new to my channel, my name is Stas, and I make videos dealing with swing trading, day trading, long-term investing, and my personal philosophies and strategies when it comes down to investing and trading in the stock market. So for those of you guys that want to learn more about that, feel free to drop a like, leave a comment, and subscribe, and follow me on Instagram as well as on Twitter, and join our Discord group chat as well as our Facebook group. All of those are linked down below in the description box. So overall today, guys, the stock market was kind of flat. So early on in the day, we did see some, upwards push in the markets. I think the Dow Jones in particular was up about 100 points at one point in today. And the first half of the day, guys, the S&P, the Dow Jones and the Nasdaq were in the green, right? And we're going to see, all of these different trends that we've been able to see today in the markets. And let's start off with the Dow Jones Industrial, average. So, what we were talking about in yesterday's video, guys, was to see whether or not, the Dow Jones was going to hold this 50 SMA support level right here. And, pretty much after today's market action, guys, it seems like it's holding on this 50 SMA on the 180-day chart. So again, guys, the markets were pretty flat today overall. We popped up $100, ended up closing, minus $100 in the Dow Jones. Not a crazy move whatsoever. It was more of a consolidation phase today, and that's a very, very good sign, guys, because what we want to see in terms of the overall markets right now is we want to see a consolidation phase before we start to either go back up in price or before we shoot down in price, start to sell off again, which in turn will be able to play, the ETFs that go up when the markets go down, like TVIX and, UVXY, some of the ones that we've been playing, over the past couple of weeks. But, keep an eye on this, guys, for tomorrow and the rest of this week. Keep an eye on whether or not the Dow Jones is going to hold this level on the 50-day simple moving average. So, guys, not too bad of a day, and the technicals are still looking pretty good as of now. So same thing here with the S&P, guys. We were down to close the day minus $4, down about 0.15%. If we look a little bit closer, guys, we started off the day very strong. Just like the Dow Jones, we sold off a little bit, we popped up, started to show a sign of a reversal, then we ended up selling off again, pretty much closing off the day minus $4. So the support level that we want to see, the S&P 500 hold is, if we look here on the 180-day chart, we want to see it hold right around here at about $2,700, ideally for tomorrow and the rest of this week. And if it's able to hold this, guys, I was talking about this channel that we were trading in yesterday, but let me just draw a new channel very quickly for you all. If we're able to hold this level, consolidate tomorrow, and slowly start to push up maybe later on in this week, that will be a good sign that the overall markets are reversing in price. So today's flat day, consolidation day, served to be very good for the S&P and for the Dow Jones. Now, if we look over here to the Nasdaq very quickly, same thing here, guys, and we actually ended up closing up $20, up 0.3 cents in terms of the Nasdaq, and it's held this trend that we drew in yesterday's video very nicely. So as of right now, guys, we've seen, a consolidation phase in the overall markets. The stocks today, guys, they had a good run in the early hours today. And we're going to talk about some of those stocks in today's video. But again, as the overall markets were selling off, those stocks ended up selling off too, and, pretty much stayed flat for the entire day. So let's take a look at this quick article right here, pretty much discussing what we just talked about. So the Dow Jones falls in wild session as Wall Street fails to recover from sharp losses. Those sharp losses were 2 days ago when the Dow Jones was down like 600 points, the S&P down whatever it was, I believe like 30, 40 points, and the Nasdaq was down about 150 points 2 days ago, right? So, today we were not able to recover, although we did see a small, consolidation phase today. But, take a look at this, guys. One of the key points that I wanted to pull out from this article was that the major indexes hit their session highs after White House economic advisor Larry Kudlow confirmed reports of renewed talks between the U.S. and China on, the trade war, right? China and the U.S. discussing again about this trade war, making a deal for, trades from U.S. to China, China to U.S. This is a very big thing for the overall stock market, in my personal opinion, because a lot of the fear, guys, has been surrounding this whole entire trade war with China. So now that they're negotiating again, guys, this is a very good sign that we're one step closer to signing that trade deal, to, finalizing it, and, seeing where the market goes from there. So pretty much, guys, this article is talking about, some early push-ups in the overall market, some Apple talk here with Lumentum. We were talking about that in yesterday's video. Goldman Sachs ended up cutting its iPhone sales estimates, and to JP Morgan downgrading Lumentum stock. Lumentum stock went down 30% yesterday, and this is the one of the what's it called, guys? One of the suppliers that Apple uses, I believe, for the face scanning recognition part of their iPhone. So this is a very big thing for Apple and, other, semiconductor stocks out there. So pretty much, guys, that's all I wanted to pull out from this particular article. And, the stocks today, like I said, saw a little green to start off the day, as this the trade war deal, was, being negotiated again, like we just saw in the article. But then we started to sell off, a little bit after that, some profit taking, just overall consolidation. So that's what the overall markets were looking like today on November 13th in 2018. So let's just quickly talk about what trades I personally made today. 2 in particular in UGAS and then 1 in Tesla. So these were 2 very quick day trades, and we're going to talk about my ideology behind these, why I took these trades, and let's just get right into it, guys. So natural gas is what UGAS trades based upon. So pretty much what that means, guys, is whenever natural gas is going up in price, we're seeing UGAS go up in price as well. And UGAS is an inverse ETF. Its inverse being DGAS, and when one goes up in price, the other one is going down in price. That's pretty much how these work. And when natural gas, we've seen natural gas, guys, it's been extremely bullish over the past couple of weeks. The price has literally gone from mid-September, guys, from 278 all the way up to highs of 411. So that's like a ridiculous bull run in terms of natural gas. And let's just get a little bit closer to see where I traded UGAS today. And this is literally an identical trade, very, very similar trade to what I did yesterday with the same exact ETF. So, let's look at that ETF actually before we do look at natural gas a little bit more. So the ETF I ended up trading, like I said, was UGAS. And if you guys recall from my video yesterday, the trade I made yesterday in regards to UGAS, we were looking to capitalize on the margin that was opened from pre-market hours to market open. And by that, I mean, take a look at this, guys. Yesterday, I was able to trade UGAS because we peaked at a high at about $140 pre-market hours, opening up that margin. Well, what opened up the margin was this fall all the way down to about $127. So when I was trading or looking to trade stocks and ETFs yesterday, this is something that I look for, guys. I want to see gaps, heading into the market open, because this offers a margin of profit. You guys understand what I'm saying? Especially for uptrending stocks. So we see it peaked up at a higher high. Previous high, was at about 130. This one was at about 140. We pulled back to 127, opening up a nice 10% margin in terms of UGAS yesterday. And, since it was holding here yesterday, I ended up getting in, making a 2.65% profit right around here, right? I pretty much just scalped in, got in on the bounce, traded up here, and that's how it played out yesterday. And something very similar ended up happening today, right? We noticed pre-market hours, we topped off at 157. We pulled back all the way to 144 heading into the market open, and that opened up, again, an 8% potential, margin of profit. So that's a very good sign that, we pulled back heading into the market open, and now we're going to see if we're going to hold these levels, start to push back up, which would give me a potential entry point. So pretty much, guys, if we look at this 1 day, 1 minute chart to see exactly what I ended up doing, I pretty much profited on this initial run that you guys had. I didn't get all this margin right here because this would be a 10%, roughly like an 8 to 10% trade. Didn't get all of that margin, but I was able to get in, once we broke above the 50 SMA, I put a little bit of money here, ended up putting a little bit of money more after the consolidation and the bounce on the 180 SMA, then put a little bit of more money right here at about $151. And then overall, guys, I was in at about $149.75 average cost. Ended up selling after we pushed up here, did not sell here, guys. We were up about 5%. We started to pull back here, and, I sold at about $155 as we broke below this support level here at about $155. Ended up taking my profits there, and I took about a 3.8% profit. So let me show you guys that again. From 149.6 up to about where I sold at 155-ish, took about a 3.6, 3.7% profit on you guys. And that was my first trade today, and we saw it went even crazier, guys, heading into the rest of the day. We shot up all the way to 164. So today, guys, you guys offered a ton of entry points and a ton of exit points for people to hop in as day trades. By that I mean you could have realistically got back into you guys right here as it started to break back up. You could have got in 150, sold at 155 again. You could have got back in as we broke above here at 153, swing it to 161. There was a ton of opportunity today in you guys, and it's just been on fire, guys. You guys know we've been talking about this in the Discord group chat pretty much every day. Like, a bunch of people are holding D guys, averaging down. You guys is going crazy. It's just been a lot of talk about these natural gas ETFs over the past couple of days. And another one that I called out earlier on today was Tesla, ticker symbol TSLA, and I was able to, capitalize on a quick little Tesla trade this morning as well. So, pretty much, guys, we shot up here. A margin of profit was open. Same thing as you guys. We were at $335, pulled back to about $332 at the open, and then we started to hold above this 180 SMA. This huge shoot up here. I was not able to catch this big push up here in terms of Tesla, but I waited for this consolidation point here, seeing if it was going to break up and start to push back up again. Ended up popping in at about $338, popped up to about $341. I saw a big red candlestick starting to form. We started to sell off a little bit, ended up taking my profits, I believe, at about like $340 and about 75 cents. And that was a very, very quick little trade. I believe I made like literally where was it again, guys? Consolidation phase, I got in roughly here, let's say. I think it was like 337, like 75 or something. Literally, this trade was not even 1%, guys. This was literally just a quick little day trade in terms of Tesla, but that brought me to a total today of about 4.2% profit on the day, and my goal being about 4 to 5% every single day. So I hit my goal, guys, literally by probably around like 10:30 today. And quick day trading in terms of my trading today, guys. Let me know down below in the comment section how you guys ended up doing today. For me, it happens like this sometimes where I trade, literally in the first 1 or 2 hours in the day, then I'm done. Then all I'm just doing is interacting in the group chat, answering your guys' questions, chiming in on whatever you guys are talking about, and, pretty much just, interacting, engaging, and doing all that awesome stuff that I love to do. So, in terms of my trading, guys, today, Tesla, you guys, and that's pretty much it. Hit my goal there. And now let's just talk about what other stocks we're watching. So a pair of ETFs that I think is going to be very interesting tomorrow is Drip and Gush. These are, again, inverse ETFs, and they trade based upon XOP. And what we noticed, guys, is that Drip has been having day after day of insane gains. I believe this one was at like $7 literally a couple of days ago, and now it's all the way up to about $9.87, nearing that resistance point at about $10 as of right now. So it's going to be interesting to see tomorrow whether or not we're going to continue this rally and drip, or is it going to be time to get into Gush, ticker symbol GUSH, which is the inverse. And if we look a little bit closer at XOP, guys, this one is nearing a support level. And for those of you guys that don't know, whenever XOP is selling off, going down in price, drip is going up in price. So it's going to be interesting to see if we're going to push down, make a new lower low in terms of XOP, which again is very possible because this one is looking like it's a falling knife, or are we going to get to about like 30, let's say $34-ish tomorrow, hold there and start to push back up, which would be a very good sign in terms of playing Gush. So I'm going to be watching these two very closely for a potential day trade tomorrow. And if we're just looking at the RSI level here, guys, XOP's RSI is showing that it's very oversold. It's right at about 32 on the 180-day chart. And if we look at drip, this one's overbought, nearing about 67, nearing that 70 threshold at about 67. So it's going to be interesting to see, guys, as this ETF's getting a little bit more overbought, Gush could potentially be a good bounce back play these next couple of days. And, this one has been getting absolutely hammered. So let's say we do get down to about, let's say, $18, $17.50, we could potentially shoot back up 20% back up to that 50 SMA, which has been a resistance point. So just because, an ETF is selling off hard does not mean there's no potential in a day trade for it, because there's always potential for a bounce back play to occur. Because we notice, guys, as even if stocks and ETFs are selling off hard, they always have some bounce back plays. Literally right here, this was a nice bounce back. This was a nice bounce back play here. Even in the past, we sold off, had a nice bounce back play. So this could very well happen again. Am I saying it's going to happen? No, but if we do see some movement pre-market hours in the green, that could be a good sign that it could potentially happen. So some other stocks that I'm watching, guys, AMD had a pretty solid day today, guys. We were talking about this trend line in terms of AMD in yesterday's video to see if it was going to hold above this little trend line we drew out. And, it's been playing perfectly in terms of what we were talking about in yesterday's video. I didn't take a position in AMD, but I'm very interested to see what's going to happen tomorrow. Are we going to break above this 180 SMA? Are we going to break above this 50 SMA? And, if we do, that would be an awesome entry point, in my opinion, at about $20-ish, $20.30, I might start building a position in AMD at those price levels. So, Square is another one that I'm personally invested in. I've put money in this one at about $74.15, and I have not yet to, add more to this position because I want to see, an identifiable uptrend pattern in Square before I even put even more money into it. And we are slowly seeing that, as we can see from this trend line. Not this trend line. Let me just clear this very quickly, but I'll draw a new trend line for you guys. We can see here that we are seeing a slow sign of a reversal. The past couple of days have been looking strong for Square, and we were up a nice 3% today, up about $2, and it's seeming like it's made that new low at about $70-ish, which was a higher low from the previous $64 range. So the reversal in Square is looking like it's happening. So if we look at the 1 day, 1 minute, closed very strong on the day today. We sold off a little bit to about $68, swung all the way to 72, pulled back, held a higher low in terms of the intraday chart, and closed on a nice up push here at about $71-ish, 71.85, which is a very, very good sign in terms of Square. So, guys, I'm watching a bunch of large caps for tomorrow, because if we do continue this consolidation phase in the overall markets, we could see or end up seeing an upswing in the overall markets, and this would benefit the AMDs, the SQs, the Facebooks, Netflix, Amazon, Boeing, Tesla, all of these different stocks that we're looking to hop into. So, no need to go over all of these same stocks again, but you guys know I'm watching Boeing very closely. I'm waiting to get into a nice entry point in Boeing. I'm watching, Tesla. I already day traded this one. It's near a resistance point here, so I'm kind of scared to hop into a swing trade, but I'm always open to, day trading Tesla, however it's looking pre-market hours. Facebook, Saw some consolidation today, so a bounce back up to the 50 SMA tomorrow could be a very big possibility in terms of Facebook, and I'm going to be watching it very closely to see if it's able to make that move pre-market hours. We can, possibly enter Facebook as a trade. And, let's take a look at some market ETFs very quickly before we do end up, ending off today's video. So TVIX, is looking decent right now in terms of technicals. And if you do believe the overall market is going to continue to sell off, this could be a good opportunity to hop into, TVIX. But for me, I'm personally not convinced that we're selling off quite yet based off the technical analysis of the Dow Jones, the S&P, and the NASDAQ. But once we get a break below those support levels, I might consider going long on TVIX and or UVXY again. And if you guys think the overall markets are going to be going up in price, reversing in price, it's going to be a good idea to take a look at TQQQ as well as QQQ. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to drop a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and on Twitter, and join our Discord group chat as well as our Facebook group. All of those are linked down below in the description box. I'll catch you guys in the next video. I hope you are all having a great day, great trading week. Have a great one. Peace out.